Okay, so I have a sore throat right now because I'm sick. So this is an extremely informal VOD of Ryan's gameplay. This is going to be a quick video. Main focus is just talking about what he did wrong. Okay. So basic things just to know talking about it is we have Xerath versus Viktor. Viktor wins level 1. At level 2 they're even. But the main fight is just for Viktor to get his upgrade and then just match Xerath and farm. Viktor has enough burst and the CC, but it really is just an even matchup. Shyvana ended up pressuring top a lot, and Kha'Zix came in like twice, so it was really not influenced by junglers. It was more so just punished. But we'll talk about that in the recording. Okay. So I just started off at 130, and there we go. Okay. So one thing worth talking about is the initial shove of the wave. So firstly, if we divide it into pockets, actually, let me do yellow. Yeah, that's much better. And we'll do, okay. So if you divide it into pockets, you need to figure out where Kha'Zix is starting, because they have a much stronger gank route than Shyvana and Viktor, because of Xerath's stun followed by just Kha'Zix's damage. Viktor really can't set up Shyvana, and also Shyvana doesn't really want to gank. So you have the grid right. You end up confirming through top lane that Darius was not leashing, and we also kind of confirmed through bot lane that they're all bot side. So this also puts, like, if you think of Kha'Zix's route, if he does, why is it so dark? If he does blue into wolves into red buff into top lane, that's a free gank for Darius that snowballs it, because already Darius wins the matchup versus Riven typically. And then you factor in the fact that Riven has Ignite, a quick gank at 3 minutes basically wins the lane for top, and then he can go camp bot or camp mid. He ends up electing to do like a full clear into like a 4-minute gank, I think. But the idea is that you figure out what his route is, and then you mirror it. So off the bat, knowing that Kha'Zix is at blue, the possible routes he can do is blue, Gronk, wolves, like back, and then go over top side. He can do blue wolves, red top, which is what he should do. Or he can just do blue, red, and then look to gank. So with that said, if he's starting over here, then you should be playing, I need to bind that to a hotkey. You should be playing in this pocket, or this pocket. You should not be playing in this area. Does that make sense? Okay. God damn. So that's the common sense of just like the grid on the lane. But you elect to start pushing this wave, which doesn't really make sense because, one, you're Viktor, right? So you have the advantage when you can fight because you basically have burst. What you should be doing instead is you stand. Fuck, that's black. You stand over here, or you stand over here, and because if you really want to be technical, it's 140 right now, right? By the time he finishes blue, it's very unlikely that he just goes straight to mid gank. So you could temporarily play in here for the first wave, first or second wave, and then you go back to this half. And then when Kha'Zix gets to red, you go to this half. But with your Q, typically most Xeraths end up just queuing the entire wave to start pushing it, or they'll prioritize queuing you. If you stand parallel, or I guess perpendicular, if you stand over here from your minion wave, you force Xerath to choose to queue you to trade, or he queues minions. If you stand clumped, he can get bonus harass. Because of your auto reset, the Q, and Thunderlords, you really have a lot stronger burst than Xerath level 1. So you want to be playing in his face, making trades with your Q at level 1. You need to be mindful of the 3 wizards, because if you pull aggro on all 6, you're fucked. But if you can balance maybe that and that in a trade, you're fine. And you kite back into the bush. Or you just kite back to your minions. Yeah, okay, this is recording. Sorry, I was just making sure. But the problem is that, like, because you essentially are not harassing on level 1, and you're pushing into him, he's going to be able to secure a freeze on this area, which basically feeds into the gank that came in at 3 minutes, because, again, we'll talk about it, but you basically never ward in any of your games. And you have, like, maybe, like, 6 or 7 wards in, like, a 30-minute game maximum, which is really a big problem, both for pink wards and for solo wards. So we'll play it out more. Okay, right, so with this, because you're standing defensively, and you're clumped in your wave, like, the wave itself is that, right? And because you're standing right here, he gets to push this 4, which counteracts the push you gave him earlier, so you can't punish him for this. And then he also hits you with it, right? Oh, psych, he almost does this. The problem is that if he did that normally, right, and you dodged it, had you not pushed the wave, you would have this freeze, which would mean that you wouldn't be able to be ganked by a Kha'Zix, because Kha'Zix can't really take the wraparound on this left side. So that would basically protect you from this side. Like, I can't move the screen right because it's like a replay, but if you froze the wave here at like level 2 or level 3, and you're like standing right up here and Xerath like right over here, you, like, because Kha'Zix started blue, he'll be on this half of the map. And he won't be able to gank you through those 3 routes because of how you're positioned. Which means he has to gank you through these routes, which is counterproductive to his jungler path. Okay. So that in itself, like, that was a really good trade. That's what you needed to do 10 seconds ago. I can't draw a fucking circle. I'm done. Boxes. Do you need to be careful because you pulled those 3 and that one. And you may miss that melee. No, okay. You missed that one though. That hits. Okay, so here's the important part. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 3 is more than 2. Therefore, the wave is pushing in that direction. Instead of hitting that, which is at full HP, don't hit it. Wait. It'll crash, and you basically stop the push from going from here. You make it go to like there instead. So you're autopiloting your like laning phase entirely. Like, you don't think about the minions, you don't think about the jungle routes. You're really just like playing it like as if they're gold or silver. And a noticing trend is you win or lose games based on how much jungle pressure you get, or if the fucking mid laners are Plat 3 or higher. And that's kind of why you're stuck in Plat 4 and Plat 5 right now, is because it's basically every game's dependent on, I mean, ever since you started queuing mid, it's just like how well they punish you for making these really big mistakes. You know, in low elo it doesn't matter because no one understands this. But when you get to like Plat 4 and plus, like, it's an ongoing problem. That's why you have like a 50% win rate every other game you're losing, because, you know, last game they didn't punish you, this game they did. And as you climb, they do this more consistently, which means there's less variance. But like, yeah, so if you started like counting how many autos you waste, you end up spending like maybe like 10 extra autos just pushing the wave for no reason. Especially as Viktor, like, you've already secured level 1, the XP advantage, because on the first wave, you had 3 minions and he had 2. Which means that you're going to hit level 2 first, which means you're going to have that power spike of doing your QE for your Thunderlord's proc. And he's very much dependent on having Q, W, and E to land all of his stuff, because it's pretty hard to land Q consistently. You do decently dodging those Qs though, so it's like, mechanically, like, you're handling the lane to an extent. Just in terms of like, can you dodge skill shots? There's really no excuse to be hit by any. That was a miss, yes. But it's like, look at how you're positioned, right? So, let me actually pull this back like 2 seconds. Okay. You need to figure out, what is Xerath looking at? There's that. Also, first off, you need to figure out, also start reading the character's direction, because this means he issued a movement command over in this direction. You issued a movement command over here. And he's probably going to go here, stand there, auto that. Ow. Which puts him about in this vicinity. If you moved from there to there, you can laser. If you moved from there to there, you can laser. If you move from there to there, you can laser. You have full mana. You have a Doran's Ring. He has half mana. You need to start playing with your spells more. Better, more effectively. But yeah, so he's looking at this one. He wants to less hit that one. This one's going to die next, because this one only has 1 attacking it. This one has 4. So you need to be standing somewhere where you can be between these two. Which means if you have to hit those 2 lines, you're going to be either here, there, or basically at the blue line. The idea is that you need to punish him for hitting his CS, because those are very clear windows where he doesn't move, and you're playing Viktor, and you need to do that while not falling behind in your farm. Also, there was no reason to hit that wizard minion just now. Wait. Why are they attacking that one? Okay. Never mind. Now it's a fair call then, because I was expecting them to be hitting that one, but no, it's fine. Never mind. Also, so wait, that was the W, yeah. So we're gonna go back a few seconds. Okay, look at the wave right now. He needs to hit that one. He's over here. His auto attack range is probably something like that, give or take. He's gonna use his spell to hit that one most likely, or he's gonna sacrifice losing the minion. You're standing with your minion line. One, that's bad because Xerath is all AoE. Secondly, or thirdly, that's bad, or whatever. I just forgot. I'm really like groggy. Whatever, that's bad because you need to be harassing him while his spells are on cooldown because his auto attacks are weak as fuck. The whole thing is that you're not punishing him for doing his job of trying to keep up in gold. You're not creating advantages. That was a kind of understood because he wants to, that he just did it late. You should immediately be looking to go into him because you've already confirmed that he took W level 2. And if he has Q and W, and he just uses his Q, he only has W to trade with. Meaning, you need to be forcing this trade. It's also 230. Typically, as you can see from your own Shyvana, this means at most, he is either... Where is it? Okay, yeah. So if he did blue, and Shyvana just finished doing wolves, he's either here, because he probably just finished his wolves, or if he elected to do double buff into top, then he's over in this area. Which means that, looking at your position, because you're on this corner, or like this giant pocket, like there's 3 main ones where it's like, well, okay, there's 6. There's like, that's one pocket, like this area is one pocket, this area is one pocket, whatever, in center. If Kha'Zix did buff wolves, buff top, this puts him Kha'Zix at this area, or it puts him at that area. If Kha'Zix does buff top, that puts him at Trebush, or not Trebush, but like Blast Cone. If Kha'Zix wanted to do some wonky gank, it would have done blue. He would have already been mid by now, because he wouldn't have been. He would have, like, if he wanted to gank you before he did wolves, that would have been at like 150 or like 2 minutes. So like right now, like you're completely safe from ganks, and it's like you need to be punishing him and creating leads, and you're not. That was a really bad laser. Why would you waste your mana on that? Okay. He's missing CS because he's bad. You're not harassing him. Which means that if he was actually good, he would have gotten that CS. You need to think of your leads as defined as the gap between A and B. Because if both people get gold at a steady rate, like they're just getting gold, whatever, if you're doing nothing to slow them down, then you just get two lines that are equal. And because Xerath, I would argue, scales better than Viktor because he gets safer, and then once he gets mad, he can like shit on people. Like, you don't want to have an equal match where both people are scaling, because what if this was like a Ziggs, or what if this was like an Anivia, and you aren't, punishing them early game, or like a Caston who sucks early game. Like, if you create an opportunity where both people scale equally, because no one's doing anything to stop each other, then you A, deserve to lose because you're not creating a lead, so why should you win? And then 2, you make it so that if mid lane goes neutral, you're reliant on other lanes to win. So then you have a 50% win rate, because if top loses and bot loses, you auto lose. If top loses and you go neutral and bot wins, game goes to mid game. If both lanes win, you auto win. And it's like, if you don't have control of your lane, if you aren't creating a lead, then you aren't actively trying to win. So then it's like, what are you doing? What are you working on? Sorry, I had to sneeze. Continuing. You see that he wants to hit that one. He started moving in for it, and you move backwards. Like, you get the good hit right there, but you could be so much further advanced, so much further offensive. Also, so you're approaching the 3-minute mark, which means you want to look to get a ward out, typically. So you either pick a pocket, and you ward it and play in it. If you were like pushing up in this area, then you would ward his raptors, or the vice versa. But the idea is that you need to get a ward down. Because, as Darius was super extended, at 250, typically between 250 and 3 is where you want to ward, because that's when people are going to start ganking you. It's very unlikely to be ganked pre-3 minutes, but it can happen. If you're playing against like a Shaco or an Evelyn. Mechanics. Okay. Right here you see, he's either charging up his Q or he's autoing. Okay, he's autoing. Hold on, let me play this back. Okay. He wants to kill that one. You want to kill that one. He just autoed. You haven't. Meaning you're going to get that kill first. Which means there is a threshold between this one's dead, this one's alive. You need to go here and trade with him, because you're still on full mana. You have fucking barrier. And he has maybe enough for a Q and an auto, unless he gets like the passive back. He's also level 2. You're level 3, which means if you're smart, you double pointed your E, or you double pointed your Q based on the matchup, because W is worthless at level 3. So, you can 100% chunk him out and then deny the cannon minion, or deny the fucking 3 wizards. Or yeah, I think those are wizards. I don't know. It's fucking weird to tell. But instead, you just let him do his thing, and it's like, what elo is this, right? Like, it's supposed to be Plat. That, I don't understand how you get hit by that. And also, I actually showed this in the replay. You get intel that Kha'Zix is in this area because Shyvana wards over, and you can see Scuttle fucking, like, he does the thing where he like dies, and then he like, or she, whatever, she fucking like turns into the ward and like plops down. You can see that, and it's on your minimap, which means someone's in this fucking half of the map, in this half of the map, and it can't be Darius, because Darius is dead. And Darius is going to teleport back to top lane. Which means Kha'Zix is over fucking here. So you either play down here, or you ward this, because again, it's past 3 minutes, but you're not actively thinking about the people on the map. Like, you have 2 options right now. It's 3:13. You just confirm that Kha'Zix is over here. You don't know if he's going to gank you or not, because he still has Raptors up, because again, you haven't confirmed that. Shyvana's on her Grump, meaning she's done 3 camps and a gank. Kha'Zix probably, instead of doing, like, okay, so if you compare Kha'Zix to Shyvana, Shyvana went buff, wolves, buff, top. Kha'Zix went buff, wolves, buff, Scuttle. So the gank for top was the same as doing Scuttle. Since Shyvana went from top down to Grump, Kha'Zix is looking to either do Raptors or mid. Going to Krugs puts him away from Raptors, and he can't really gank top right now because the wave looks like it's shoving in anyway. So Kha'Zix is probably going to go from either, well, really he should go to Raptors and then recall, and then buy like Smite or something like a pink ward. But since he sees you fucking push all the way over here, and it's very clear you haven't warded because Xerath has been like, oh, this kid hasn't warded, it's an easy gank. Yeah, right now I wanted to see if you had intel on it, but like that's another thing is you need to be looking at your map and you need to be actually like either using your F keys or just having more awareness. Shyvana wards, Shyvana wards, and you hear the sound, and you see this. It appears on your fucking map right there. Like that should be immediate panic because he's gonna come straight to mid because your wave is shoving it in. And it's like, it was so transparent. Also, hold on. So, fuck. Okay. I was expecting Kha'Zix to wrap around this way, given that that cuts off your tower route and basically forces you into here. Then, since we're getting fucked bot lane, Tahm Kench can just cut you off and stuff. But, oh. Right. Okay. So. If Xerath was like over here, because I kind of see it really bad, if he was like in this area, why would he suddenly move up to fight you? If one, you have this entire minion wave, if he autos you once, he pulls fucking 2 minion waves worth of shit. But also, you're Viktor with barrier. There is no realm in which Xerath actually kills you. So chances are, you're getting ganked. You also, okay, so right here you have two options. You either go down here and then look to flash over to like Raptors, which is what you did, or you go from here, you W this area, and you flash over here and go for the kill. But since you're playing with Barrier and not Ignite or some other spell, you don't really have that much kill potential because he has Ghost and Flash. So right now you're basically just trying to run. Oh god, what's happening to my screen? Oh, I think I just wanted to display it to see it better. Right, yeah, so you get hit by that. We talked about that already. Why would he move from here to here when he can hit, like, none of these are in last hit range? Why would he look to fight you right now? Because if anything, you can just flash his Q and kill him. Like if you guys wanted to do like an all-in fight. That should be not like these are signs that you're being ganked. As soon as he gets that kill and he continues moving forward, you're getting ganked. This is a good when you move downwards to go for the flash. Because at best, even though you played poorly, at 330 you got Kha'Zix's flash for your flash, and because Kha'Zix doesn't take 11 points into tenacity, you guys have the same cooldown, so that's fine. You know, you just play safe next round. But I guess you pop a biscuit and then you return to your lane. Why? Look at where it's positioned. God, my throat. Like, it's way over here. You're like, if you want to go get the next wave, because you know you have barrier and you just popped a potion because you wasted it, like, it's gonna be frozen in this area. He has both his summoners, and Kha'Zix just got your flash, and you just saw that Kha'Zix had red buff, and he's in this half of the map. What's gonna happen if you, again, you haven't warded yet? You probably have 2 war charges, which I think I checked tab in a second and confirmed that. But it's like, if you just confirm that he's either going to be doing Shyvana's Raptors or mid Scuttle or just chilling, you should have backed. But because you go back here, this means you're going to be either at this torch or you're going to be at this torch in order to contest the wave because it's already pushed in because of how you managed it for the first fucking 90 seconds of the game. And so, like, that puts you, like, alright, so you're basically going to be between in this area. Kha'Zix can come from, he can literally do Scuttle to go back to mid and kill you. Or he can just wait for you after Xerath confirms that you're mid and then just kill you. Because worst case scenario, or I guess best case, as you see from Xerath in a moment, Xerath uses one summoner spell, gets in range, he misses his E, but it's like all he has to do is trade his flash now for a kill. Because Kha'Zix already traded his flash for yours. And Xerath can do that because he has 2 mobility summoners. That's like Annie taking Flash Ghost. If Annie trades her Ghost and gets your Flash, because like the threat of the closing the distance and then using Tibbers, like that means that she has Flash Tibbers available for the next engage. Right? So like, why are you here? None of these minions have even died yet. Like, you missed, like from running from like mid tower to your current position, you missed no gold. And there's also no gold you can get because you have to either E the wave, which puts you at below mana, which means he can then start to actually solo you because he's level 4 and you're level 3. But like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then at the same time, this wave's pushing back into you. So either A, recall and then it meets you in neutral and you're fine, or B, don't hit it and just let it push into you. You don't want the wave to be on his side, because Kha'Zix can gank you and Shyvana can't. All he does, he probably doesn't like Scuttle, he goes mid, jumps over, and then he basically solos you. Because he misses the fucking E. Like, 4 minutes, no wards. You have over 2 ward charges now. There's no reason not to have a ward there. Right? Look at this. None of them have died yet. So, like, you know that, okay, maybe you lose 1 CS. Don't fucking move up here. Don't hit them. Just stay back here if you're gonna choose to stay in lane and let it crash into you. You trade 1 CS and you don't fucking die. Instead, you try to push up for maybe 1 or 2 CS. If you burn your laser, you get 3. But then you give him 400 gold. Like, this was dumb. I don't know why he did that. As soon as the tower gets involved, the wave will push back into you. So you've already confirmed that you have 6 minions are healthy, 6 are not. That's going to die to that tower shot, and then these 2 will die. That's 6 to 3. It pushes back into you. God. Sorry, I'm not frustrated. I'm just, like, I'm really sick, and that's not good. You auto that for no reason. Twice. You probably... Oh, you also took your W. So you don't have double pointed E, which means you can't kill those 3. Yeah. So now because of that, you're still level 3. You're fucked early game because you need your double... you need your E upgrade. So you're basically going to be doing 2 Horns Rings at this point. He's level 4. He was but because he got the kill on you, he can now go back and buy last chapter, come back to lane, and then fuck you harder. He'll also be level 5, which means he'll also be level 6 before you, which means that there's a bigger threat from that. At this point, you have equal CS, because you were beating him in CS earlier because of how you, like, at level 1 and 2 you talked about how you were able to zone and, like, apply pressure to Xerath. But you didn't stop him from CSing, and then you missed him with CS on your own. You could have had a bigger gap. You could have had potentially even just a safer lane, but instead you choose to botch it. It's 2 ganks at 4 minutes. Pretty sure your Darius also has got 2 ganks off. So You're not being camped. And that's not really a dive. You kind of just, he took one tower shot. That's not really, like, we're not talking like a least level diving. Shyvana fucked up by not soaking, fine, yeah. But like, I'm focusing purely on you right now. Missed that. Missed that. Questionable. You don't have to queue for that. But you had double Dorans probably, so it's fine anyway. But look at this, you're pushing again. You didn't have to push those three. If you CS it slower, you can keep it over in this area. It's gonna crash in this area. It's gonna be between there. Or between there. Okay. I don't know where I don't think we have intel where Kha'Zix is actually. But look at this guy. The wave crashed here. Zerat didn't have to queue it. That's his mistake. But if the wave's backline is here, this puts you there. Fuck. Between the torches. Who's to say Kha'Zix didn't just first buy Moby Boots? Which is what Elise and Lee Sin do, typically. And this comes back down and kills you. Because again, you haven't warded yet at 5 minutes. Like, you have no sums, your W doesn't really stop either of them, and he has Ghost still available. Also, I don't know what the fuck that was. Okay, your first ward, 514. Your trinket can be used at, like, 110, right? Because you can use it when you're invading and stuff. There's no reason. There's no excuse. All this was been preventable. Okay. Yeah, so we went to do Krugs, I guess, after Raptors. Finishes his clear. I think he just had like 1300. That's Moby Boots and a Longsword. Or Tier 1 Boots, Chilling Smite Pink. Or Caulfield Tamer, and he'll like sit on Fountain and then get Tier 1 Boots. Miss that one. You're gonna miss that one again. Psych. Okay. Like, because, like, the only way you get that CS is if you use a spell, which is basically gonna be your laser because of the distance. He can go and zone you off, which is what we talked about earlier, remember? He knows that you want to kill that minion. So he positions himself between the two of you guys. And he goes for a trade. He misses his E, but if he hit it, he would have chunked you for half your HP. And he can do that because of the matchup with the junglers. The game is not 1v1, the game is 2v2. That's how mid lane is played in Plat and above. Unfortunately, even I hate it, but I can't play any, and I can't shove them in all day and then try to kill them. There is pressure. Especially when he has CC. It's like a fucking Renekton. That was really good, right? Like, he autoed you, he pulled the wave, you dodged the Q, you traded back. Like, it's going better. Look at that, that's a fantastic trade. You did that slow, you should have W'd first, then E'd second, because that would have applied the stun. But it's still progress. Okay, right now you need to look at this, right? What are these all attacking? These two are focusing that one or that one. That one's hitting that one. These, I think that one. Oh, fuck. This one's hitting that one. This one, and this one are hitting somewhere in this area. None of them are going to die next. Back up. Wait. And kill that one. Or kill that one. If you go for this one, it's being really greedy. He also chooses just, like, he's pushing into, he's shoving into, which gives you a safer laning phase. That was a waste of E. You don't want to push this out, you just want to farm under tower. You have your Q reset, you have your E. There's no reason why you can't farm under tower. I guess Shyvana is something good shit. But dodges all of them, so like, good props to her, right? Wait, didn't we just see Kha'Zix? Wasn't Kha'Zix just... I thought we just saw Kha'Zix. Hold on. There's no reason to shove it. You're wasting your mana. Oh, he goes to kill the ward, okay. But I thought we saw Kha'Zix right over here. No? Do we not? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we just confirmed even Kha'Zix's location. Which means he's on this half of the map. You probably didn't even see him because you were probably focused on Xerath. Get hit by that. You know, there's a chance they could dive you because this is... Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. They need another wave. Never mind, they can't dive you. But actually, this plays into where bot lane gets ganked after this because Shyvana even types out... I guess you can't see, but Shyvana types out, like, Kha'Zix his bot side. If Kha'Zix was just here, and you mirror, like, the camps, it's not 7 o'clock, it's not 7:10 yet, which means that buff's not up. So he's either going to do from mid to Gromp, which doesn't make sense because he can go through lane. Or when you look at bot lane, and how Ashe is already getting fucked, I think she's like 0-2 at this point, or 0-1. Kha'Zix just goes straight bot, and then gets the kill. Good, that's good CSing. You got your 6. See, look, easy gank. Right there. Because Ashe is a fucking moron. Again. Why? Why would you auto him? Why are you pushing it? If you have your upgrade, then that's a different game because you can start pushing on your tower and you can burn his mana. But because you don't have your upgrade, because your double Doran's ring, you're deep, you need a farm. You can't play the mana game, you can't play the siege game because you don't have your upgrade yet. That's a barrier force. You also Q that and you waste your W. You're now. You have to back. Good. No, stop it. Wasting time. You're wasting your recall. The wave isn't neutral, it's a cannon. Instead you get fucked, you just like go for this little fight shit. And then you flame Shyvana for doing scuttle crap. And it's like, what? First off, you wasted a biscuit. Like, how is this at all Shyvana's fault? Like, there's nothing Shyvana, the level 5 Shyvana, there's nothing she could have done to save you. And I'm pretty sure I replay that like little kill and I like talk about it a little bit. Let me see if I hit replay. Oh no, I fast forward. Okay, hold on. It's gonna be like a long fucking video. Okay. Because you chose not to recall, right? On a neutral wave with cannon, which can take longer to get under your tower. Because you chose not to, you stayed in the lane. You dodged that, awesome. You need to immediately get the fuck under your tower. Okay. That was the wasted movement. Because that would have stopped the second auto. It makes you wouldn't have needed like that wouldn't have happened. Even despite your mistake. If you didn't do that micro movement. Right? Where was it? That right there. That movement when you went down. That was the reason why his third auto killed you right there. Even despite all this, you still would have got out. But mechanically you played it poorly. Also, even if Shyvana came down like immediately, the auto still went off. Oh fuck. Where's my pen? Yeah. There is nothing that Shyvana could have done. And the sad thing is that even despite all that shit that's going on, you guys are still equal in CS. Imagine how far you would be right now if you were playing it better. If you didn't get ganked, well, not even that, if you didn't let yourself be ganked. Getting ganked is not an excuse. Getting ganked does not mean the jungler hates you. It means that you exposed yourself, you played poorly. They capitalized on that by ganking you. That's it. Like, it doesn't mean like, oh, I lost lane because I got ganked. Yes, like, you lost lane because you got ganked. Like, that's the point. A lot of people, like, make it as an excuse of like, oh, well, I was winning 1v1, but I just got ganked. Like, no, you were winning 1v1 because you exposed yourself, and then you got punished for that, and then you lost it. The game is not 1v1. Also, you missed that one under tower. You missed that one under tower. I typically go to 10 minutes, so we'll see whether... Yeah, I mean, that was just unfortunate. But that could have been helped just by warding in general. I don't think I bothered like looking over this area. I just kind of was, he got away. Shyvana had flash though, and she's level 5, so really that's kind of on her. You're shoving it, I guess, because Aerith isn't in base, is still in base, which is which is fine. But like, you gave him that CS, right? Because you left and you killed the minions, which means that this just crashes into his tower. But he's coming back from lane because if he recalled after he killed you, right, and you ran to lane, he's probably back in lane already. So it's like, not only did you just give him a freeze, but you just secured him 100 gold while you're just like chilling, which is like, that's fine, but like right now he gave you the push back. He like, you guys are just making so many mistakes. He gave you back the push in the wave. You don't have to eat that, especially when you have no barrier. You only have flash now. And then he just pushes back into you again, and it's just like, the sad thing is, I'm pretty sure you actually almost killed him here, but it was because you fucking eat the minion wave. Like, imagine this. Imagine this next scenario, right? You don't touch this wave. You don't use your E right there. You don't use your Q right there, and you just wait. And when he moves in, and you go for that return fight, you could have had the QE onto him earlier, just from like an earlier exchange. You could have just like angled your E to hit the melee and hit Xerath or something. You actually, like, you imagine if you did damage to him prior to that fight. He has like 200 HP right now. I forget, maybe not 250. And then that's just mechanically you just got hit by 2 fucking ults. So it's like, just what are you doing altogether? And I believe just like all together, all things said and done, you got ganked. I think it was either 3 times total, or like Kha'Zix appeared mid 2 times or 3 times in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Subtract 90 seconds because of the laning phase, fine. In 9 minutes, he came mid twice or 3 times. Shyvana did the same thing to top, and it's a fucking Darius. You're not being camped. You're getting ganked. You're getting punished for making mistakes. Like, a camp is when the jungler gives up their farm in exchange for applying pressure. When the jungler applies pressure because their mid laner can't 1v1 properly. Kha'Zix was out farming Shyvana, I think. On the tap screen. Yeah, Kha'Zix is up in farm, up in gold, and out ganking. It's not a case of you're being camped. It's not a case of Shyvana. It's not a case of Shyvana being trash. Like, you have no mid lane right now. You're pushing the wave poorly. You're not trading at all. I think you maybe only lasered him like you only actually hit him with your laser outside of all ins maybe like 2 or 3 times in the entire laning phase. Maybe 4. You're too passive. You're not creating advantages. You're just playing it out and surviving, and then struggling at that. This is why you have spooks. This is why you smurf. This is why you practice shitting on people, so that you create advantages. So that when Kha'Zix, like, imagine this: if you were beating Xerath 1v1, which is what you were doing at like pre-level 3, despite making mistakes, if Kha'Zix came and didn't get any kills, you'd be ahead, and Shyvana would be ahead because she wouldn't be getting killed by Kha'Zix. The way you win games is by winning your lane, drawing number pressure, and not choking when you're outnumbered. Through doing that, you hold the 1v2, your team wins the 4v3, and then you win by being a better player. Losing 1v1 and then losing further 1v2, it just makes a really awkward combo. This game was caused by Ash fucking up at like 3 times because she just kept fucking dying. Caused by you. And yeah. Because Riven smashed Darius in a matchup that Riven normally doesn't win. Riven has Ignite and is still applying more pressure. So like top is in our favor. Bot was in their favor. It came down to mid. And because you're not actively creating a lead, you lose this game. And that's what we talked about. If you aren't doing anything mid and you just go null, you go even, it plays into what side lane wins harder. And because bot lane has 2 people and top has 1, if bot lane loses, it's worse. And that's all there is to it, mate. Like, it's completely fine. It's like, this is all workable. We can drill this and we can do matchups. But to flame Shyvana, to flame Ash, nah. They had no impact on this. And that's it, man. That's it.